Okay, Rajiv, can you share a little bit your what your impressions, what you heard today about this cooling and some challenges and maybe opportunities, and especially from Gujarat perspective?
You know, um, thank you for inviting me here. And it's fortunate to, since morning till now, hear each of you. And almost everybody is making sense as to, from my point of view, because I am one of the operator of 10,000 ton district cooling system, day in, day out, hands on. So I see we are talking about all practical issues here. Up to 90% are all realistic issues. So what what I think the main issue that was since morning till now was more like grid and power and how to open up the sector and all. So whatever has been said is all relevant. So I would rather not repeat it. And as just now gentleman said, in 15 years there will be perhaps similarly more time when we see things change. And then in the morning somebody said we have to push the government. So on that side, that's what we are doing. We are pushing the government. So we have got a waiver on the power, on the electricity supply, 15% that comes to a district cooling system. 15% in the waiver means about 50 to 60 lakh rupees per annum. My electricity bill is about 5.5 crores per annum. So it's like a huge percentage of that. And we are still talking to government on other things, including bringing in district cooling as a utility just like power or water. Unfortunately, that is not there, and because it is not there, government cannot just bring more to the table until unless it is stamped as a regular service. So so that's where we see a lock which needs to be opened. And we are not working on too many fronts. Putting your power here everywhere and putting energy doesn't really is helping. So that's what we are doing. Trying to open going one step at a time. So that's what we have achieved. We are working on more, trying to put this thing into an organized sector and then talk about regulating, bringing more regulatory reforms on that side. District cooling definitely is the word, no doubt. Uh, and as Tabri, gentleman from Tabri, he is in the business, he knows, and we have learned with about 30 to 40% diversity, you cannot beat it. So, so our loads are about 245,000 tons for 62 million square foot. We are going to install only 145,000 tons. So that's the saving. That's all. Don't worry about anything else. And that's a realistic figure. That's a realistic figure. We are working with that. I'm currently connected with about more than 10,000 tons operating my 5,000 tons or less than 5,000 tons. And I'm next year going to get connected to 20,000 tons and will still be operating at about 5,000, 4,000 tons. So that's the diversity in hand. And that what brings down my power grid requirement. I don't need a big power plant. So that's the saving. That's all is hidden there. And 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 this is one part, policy and then diversity. All this that makes it viable. That's the way to go. And every time people like Tabreed who are into the business and more knowledgeable people, they must be questioning here and there wherever there's a 5,000 ton load. What are we doing? Why are we putting split units in Delhi? I belong to Delhi. So when you see these whole 10-story buildings with so many split units, it's crazy thing. What are we doing? We are increasing the heat island, at the same time we are messing it up. The second part on the optimization, if I'm not going too out of the way, second part on the optimization, everybody is talking cogeneration. What we are doing is, as everybody has said, when the district cooling load increases, the power load increases. We are introducing solar into our system, into our grid. And that's going to beat down that peak on the power. And that's the another thing where we will win. Those are the areas where we are attacking, and they are sure shot that we will win them. And from there we will make another step, more informed step forward. So one by one, slowly, we are going forward. And we have to count the cash at the end of the day and show it to the principal that that's the saving, because that's the operating plan. So thank you very much for sparing time to go through the presentation. I'll do it fast because we have discussed most of the things here. So there's nothing much there. The project is monitored by the Prime Minister. He has direct interest in the project, GIFT City. This is our plan, and we are situated by the river. And there's by the river, we are planning to have a large longitudinal solar grid through and through. That's the plan. That's where we want to add solar. That's the latest picture, GIFT City. We have recently posted a new flag. That's how an existing plan, that's how a plan exists already. We are walking whatever is planned with very minor changes. So everything is there. We have to just start working. What pipes you see is actually a tunnel. The tunnel is about 7 meters by 7 meters. It's a huge tunnel. You can run a truck in there. Big tunnel. So one of the challenges that we have while we try and sell to our developers district cooling system, they don't really seem to be valuing this. And this is actually an integral value which comes as we bring. There's money in here, there's a cost in here, but they don't value the cost. So heat island, carbon footprint, and I say nothing doing. Give us the lowest cost, and we will go by that. Some characteristics are that, especially here, are normally, I'm not aware of too many district cooling systems, but with a normal conventional chilling system, we have a 5 degree supply temperature, and delta T is 9 degrees. So that's what reduces our piping cost and pumping cost both. That's a USP. Economy of scale and diversity are other things which reduces our cost as compared to conventional. We have a 10,000 TR thermal energy storage system, and as far as the way we have been operating, I cannot dream of district cooling without a thermal storage. People see thermal storage from various angles. It's a multi-utility tool in a district cooling system. We use a thermal storage tank in more than 4 or 5 ways, and it is so handy. We could not have survived without this tank, 10,000. So next time, in another about 3 years, we are planning to add another 10,000 tons with 20,000 ton thermal storage. That's actually a lifeline. And SCADA helps us in improving our efficiencies. Even a very slight minor, like 0.9 to 0.92, it makes my electricity bill swell like anything. So we are very focused on our IKW. That's the